Yes friends, today I am taking compound interest, lecture series 38, in which as I promised you that I'll take compound interest after simple interest. Okay, so after the two lecture series of simple interest, now I'm taking compound interest. As I have told you that there is a big difference between compound interest and simple interest. For 1 year there is no difference, both are same. I mean, whatever the simple interest comes out to be for 1 year, compound interest also comes out the same for the first year. But after first year, the interest calculated is added to the principal and it becomes principal for the second year in case of compound interest. But in case of simple interest, the interest is or principal is same for a number of years or throughout the time for which the money is borrowed. Okay, and similar, but in case of compound interest, second year onwards, the compound interest is more than that of the simple interest. Okay, because first year's compound interest or interest, simple interest, is added up into the principal, and that principal, that amount becomes principal for the next year onwards, right? Next year, then for the second year, whatever interest comes out, it is further added up into the compound, into the principal, and then again it becomes, this amount becomes principal for the third year, and so on. So in this way the process is different. Now in this case we have to find out what is the amount equal to. Now for amount there is a simple formula, and after that I will discuss about that how compound interest is calculated. Amount minus principal. Okay, so amount is equal to how much? Let me just talk about it. There are certain things in case of compound interest, as I have told you, that definition I am defining. What is compound interest? Okay, the simple interest or the simple interest and compound interest both are same for the first year, but after the first definite period or 1 year, in this case 1 year or 1 month or whatever. Okay, after definite period, this is definite period, the interest calculated, is added to the principal, or money borrowed, the principal, and this amount becomes principal for the second year, becomes principal for the second year, and second year's interest is further added up, and second year's interest calculated is added to the principal of second year, the principal which was amount for the first year. Okay, after the first year, the principal is added to the principal of second year, and this amount becomes principal for the third year, third year, and so on. Okay, so this is the process here, that how the principal for the next year becomes, principal is the amount of the previous year. Okay, and in this way, principal for the next year becomes is the amount of the previous year. Okay, so first year's principal and first year the interest is added up in the principal of the first year. Now this amount will become principal for the second year. Similarly, this principal of second year plus interest after the second year is added in this, and it becomes, this amount of second year becomes principal for the third year. So this is the process and so on. So this is the difference between compound interest and simple interest, because second year onwards compound interest is more than that of the simple interest. Simple interest will remain same throughout, because principal for the simple interest is same for all the years. But in case of compound interest, second year onwards the principal is different, because of that, or is more than that of the simple interest, and because of that compound interest is more than that of the simple interest second year onwards. This is only difference. Okay, now come to the point. Now what are the basic formulae for this? Now let me discuss about that, and what are the requirements, and what are the definition of those 4 points. There are 4 points again, 4 definitions: amount, principal, time and rate, as we discussed in case of simple interest. Okay, so let me write here. Okay, in case of compound interest, this is compound interest, which are written above. Compound interest. Okay, compound interest. This is compound interest. CI means compound interest. I'll write short compound interest, CI. Okay. In case of CI, compound interest, there are again four may say basic not subjects we may say, but we can say the basic definitions, the 4 basic definitions required. I've defined that what is amount here. First is amount, second is principal, third is time, we take time, third, and fourth is rate. Okay, rate percent or rate percent per annum. Okay, now the formula here. So amount is equal to principal plus compound interest. Right, this is formula for amount. This implies that principal is equal to, amount equal to principal plus this principal that we write here. But the formula for finding the amount here, principal plus this compound interest, but formula for amount. But amount is equal to, the formula for amount is principal into 1 plus r upon 100 whole power t. What is amount here? So amount, formula for amount is given. This is the first equation here. We will take here amount is principal plus interest, right? And so compound interest will be compound interest. So compound interest CI is equal to amount minus principal. Is amount minus principal, right? Or we can write now amount, value of amount is P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power T minus P, because principal is P. If I take P common, then direct formula for finding the compound interest, let me write here. This implies that compound interest is equal to P, if I take common from this, the first equation, it will be 1 plus R upon 100 whole power T years we will take here n minus 1. This is for compound interest calculation. Direct formula we can apply here. If we know what the principal, what the time given, number of years here, R is rate percent. Okay. In that way, this is the formula for compound interest. This is second formula. So first formula is for amount, second is for compound interest. Okay. Now if there are certain other, this is now R percent is R percent. If the rate is n per annum, rate is per annum, then this formula is applied. This per annum, then as I have told you that amount equal to, then amount is equal to P into bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power T. Right? If rate is half yearly or half yearly, then this is the third formula I've taken, and the fourth formula, then amount is equal to, or A is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 2 upon 100 whole power 2T. What is this reason? Now rate is half yearly, R is percent, annual or per annum, but R upon 2 is half yearly now. So rate will be half yearly, R upon 2, and this because 1 year will contain now twice 6 months, 2 6 months or 2 half years, because the time is twice T now. Okay, number of period here now. So that will give us that suppose this is 1 year, then twice 2 years are there, then 2 to the 4, so 4 periods, 4 6 months will be there. In this way we can take this is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 200 whole power twice T. And if this is third case, this is the fourth case I have taken here, fourth formula, and if the rate is quarterly, rate percent is quarterly, right? Quarterly, then A is equal to, or amount is equal to, then amount will be equal to P into 1 plus R upon 4, let me take R upon 4 divided by 100 whole power 40. This is equal to P into 1 plus R upon 400 whole power 40. This is for quarterly. Okay, so rate percent if it is quarterly, then we apply this formula. This is your fifth formula. Let me take, these are the 5 formulae, and wherever the shortcuts formulae are required, I'll just talk about them. Okay, first let me take the questions here. What are the questions? Let me first talk about them, and then you will take that what is the basics of these formulae, these questions I mean. So these formulae we will use mostly for the time period given, either 1 year, 2 years or 3 years mostly, right? So amount we have to find out for 3 years or maybe 4 years, right? And if the rate percent is 2%, 3%, maybe 4%, maybe 5%. So these kind of percentage, rate percent may be given either 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, etc. So if it is 5%, 10% for example, or 4%, mostly 5%, 4%, 10%. These kind of percentage or rate percent is given. Rate percent, for example, 10% per annum. Rate, if rate is, then what we will do, 1 plus 10 upon 10 means 1 upon 10, 1 plus 1 upon 10, that means 11 upon 10 whole power T. Okay, so in this way we can easily calculate that. Now if it is 5%, rate percent is 5, then 1 plus 5 upon 100, 5 upon means 100 means 1 upon 20, so 21 upon 20 whole power T. In this way P into this shortcut formula is used. We will just talk about that. Okay, let me take now questions. one by one. So let me take first question. Question number 1. What is given to us? Let me first write down. Question number 1 says, it says that divide rupees, rupees 3,903 between A and B, so that A's share at the end of the year, end of 7 years, at the end of 7 years may equal to B's share, at the end of 9 years. Okay, at the end of 9 years. We will find out them. Now, compound interest being at 4%, we have to divide it. So dividing this, divide rupees 3 this into 2 parts. Okay, what is required, I've already written that, but I'll note down this here. And compound interest being at 4%. So compound interest, this is compound interest here. Compound interest being 4% per annum. This 4% per annum undoubtedly. Per annum is not written, but 4% per annum. Okay. To find what you have to find out. Divide the rupees 3,903 between A and B as above conditions, or as above conditions. Okay, or as based on above conditions, or based on above conditions. Let me now find the solution. Now condition. Okay, what is A share? A share means you divide these two parts into the premiums of these two. Okay, so that the compound interest after 9 years and after 7 years of A, 9 years of B are equal to this. We have to find out who is here. Okay, A and B, so that A and B share. So we have to find out the ratios, that in which ratio this total amount is being divided. Okay, so that part we can find out. First we have to find out what is A share and B share. Okay, now we are given here that A share, let me write here, since A share into A share, or A principal here, P into 1 plus R upon 100, R is here 4%. We will just write down that for 7 years. This is equal to B share for how many years? 1 plus R upon 100 for 9 years. Okay. If I take this A share upon B share, this is given to us that A share for 7 years, okay, divided with this one between A and B, so that the A share at the end of 7 years may equal to B share at the end of 9 years. That means what is A share? Means the amount we have to find out. Amount is equal to principal or A share into this. Okay, so A share into the interest for this for 7 years is equal to B share and interest for B for 9 years. This is the equation given to us. Now if I find A share, this implies that A share of that money divided by B share, let me take, equal to how much? Now B share we have taken this This will be 1 plus r upon 100 whole power 9 divided by 1 plus r upon 100. But r is given here 4%. I'll write down. This is 7 here. For the final result, so it will be just 1 plus r upon 100 whole power 2 only, because this is 7, 9 minus 7, 2 power. Now let me find that what are these values. So a is here and b is here. Let me first find that what is this value. Let me solve it here. Therefore, the ratio of a is here, I'm finding out. Therefore, a is here divided by b is here is equal to 1 plus r means 4 upon 100 whole power 2. So let me find that what is their ratio. Then we will divide this value according to this ratio of a's and b's. It will give us how much? 104 upon 100, taking 100 LCM. This is equal to 26 upon 25. If I divide by 4, then it will be 4 2s are 8 and 4 6 are 24. So this is whole square. So what is the square of this? This is 676 upon 625. Whole square of this. So this is a is here divided by b is here. Only b is here. Okay, so this is your ratio of a is here and b is here. Now, in this ratio, we have to divide that value. Let me now find that what is actually a is here, because their ratio is this is to this. So if I have to find out a is here is in the numerator. So sum of the ratios in the denominator, right? This plus this in the denominator, and for a, if I have to calculate, then that will be this. Hence, age share is equal to 676 divided by 625 plus 676. Addition of the two ratios into this value 3903. We have to just find out that what is this ratio. 676 and this value 676 and 625. Okay, so these ratio we will calculate. Or if I calculate this only one value, this we will subtract from 3903, whatever value comes out to be. Let me now add it. This is 676 divided by 5 plus 6 11, 1 carry, right? 5 plus 6 11, 1 carry, 7 plus 2 9 and 1 10, 0, 1 carry, 6 plus 6 12 and 1 13 into 3903. So this is 3 times 3, because 3 1 is 3, 0, 3 is 9 and 3. Okay, so 3 times completely divisible. Let me multiply this. 3 6 is 18, 1 carry, 3 7 is 21, 1 22, 2 carry, 3 6 is 18, 2 20, 2 0, 2 8. This is the age share. Now what is B share? And B share and B share. This is and B share is equal to 3903 minus this 028 for subtraction. 13 minus 8, 5, 1 carry, 2, 10 minus 2, 8, 1 carry, 1, 9 minus 1, 8, right? 9 minus 8, 9 minus 1, 8, okay, so this is now 3 minus 2, 1, 1885, yeah, 1885, this is the value of B. So A and B share are completely calculated now. Let me now write here what are the shares of A and B, and this hence A share is equal to 2028 rupees, this much, this is rupees, and B's share is equal rupees 1885. These two are the answers. Question number 1 is completed. Alright, so that is question number 1. Let me now talk about question number 2. What does question number 2 say? Let me now check that. Okay, so this is the process of solving this kind of question. If I have to find the share, then find the ratio of their A and B share, then sum of the ratios in the denominator, and in the numerator we take the A ratio or B ratio. Okay, so that is the question. Now question number 2 is given to us. Let me first note down the compound interest on a certain sum for 2 years is rupees 40.80 compound interest, and simple interest is rupees 40.00. Find the rate of interest per annum and the sum. Principal is also to be calculated, right? Simple interest is also to be calculated. So let me now find the rate of interest per annum and the sum. Principal. So what is given to us? The compound interest CI. I'll write compound interest CI. Okay. On a certain sum. A certain sum is for 2 years. Certain sum for 2 years is rupees 40.80, and SI is simple interest. SI simple interest is rupees 40. Okay, we find here then we have to find out. Then what will we find out here? To find here, question second says find the rate of interest. Find the rate of interest and the sum, principal and the sum. Okay, these two are to be calculated. Solution. Now let us take the solution. Now in this case, let me take that what is the formula for. Now we are given here that for 2 years, the interest, right? For 2 years the interest is, simple interest is 40 rupees. For 1 year, simple interest. For 1 year, simple interest will be 20 rupees, right? The simple interest here, simple interest for 2 years. From there we can find out the principal for 2 years is rupees 40. Simple as that, simple interest for 1 year is equal to rupees 20 divided by 2. Simple. The simple interest is simple. Okay, just 20 for every year. This is 20 rupees. For 1 year, this is the simple interest. Now principal, if I have to find out 20 or rate percent is not given. Okay, no problem at all. This is for this. Compound interest is given for 2 years, and that is rupees 40.80. That is compound interest for 2 years, right? And simple interest for 1 year is this. What is the difference between them for 2 years? 0.80, right? So compound interest minus simple interest is that value. So difference of CI, compound interest minus and simple interest, let me take, and SI equal to 40.80 minus 40 for 2 years here. Difference of them is 0.80. This is the difference of the two, simple interest and compound interest. Alright, so let me take this as rupees this 0.80. Let us check. So simple interest for